Hey, what's up guys, it's me your boy Ottoman Kevinish back here with another brand new video and I hope you guys are having a great day. Well, we are here after the final race of the year, closing out the season. And before we head into the details of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix race review, let's run through the finishing order. So Verstappen closes out the season in style with a win, followed by Leclerc in P2, Russell in P3. Perez finished in P4 after finishing P2 on track as he had to take a penalty for causing a collision involving Norris. Norris finishes P5, Piastri in P6, Alonso in P7, Tsunoda in P8, Hamilton in P9 and Stroll in P10, rounding off the top 10 point scorers. Followed by Ricciardo in P11, Ocon in P12, Gasly in P13, Albon in P14, Hülkenberg in P15, Sargent in P16, Zhou in P17, Sainz in P18, Bottas in P19 and Magnussen in P20. So it was a race with zero retirements. So with that being said, now let me share my thoughts and opinion on the key moments of the race. Leclerc challenges for the lead. Leclerc got a brilliant start to the race, very similar to Max. He challenged to take the race lead, though it only lasted for a couple of laps. It was still nonetheless what we wanted to see in Formula 1. He almost made it stick heading into turn 6, but Max was able to judge and get on the brakes a little bit later than him to prevent any chances of an overtake. It was brilliant to see these two go wheel to wheel. There might be fans who enjoy Max vs Lewis, but I personally prefer this over that, as the racing between Leclerc and Verstappen is always hard and aggressive, but they both know how they'll push each other. So there's always a subtle understanding and respect that's hard to find. When Max and Lewis go wheel to wheel, it sure is box office to see Verstappen and Hamilton duel. But the thing is, we know one of the two will end up giving damage to the other. Whereas the battle between Charles and Max is also box office, but we get some hard racing with zero damage. I just can't wait for Ferrari to give Leclerc a car competitive enough to challenge Max for the win. Hamilton's miserable race. Hamilton has had back-to-back underwhelming results here at Abu Dhabi. After retiring from the race last year, though he finished the race this time out, he was not as competitive as he was in the previous Grand Prix. That, with the wing damage that he took by running into the back of Gasly, further pulled curtain to his chances of moving further up the field. Ferrari's unforgivable strategy. Though Leclerc finished the race in P2 and brought a solid result to the team lost the battle to Mercedes in the Constructors. They could have played a tactical race here which could have helped them secure P2 in the Constructors. I feel like the one race that they should have been on top of things is the one that they left loosely. The strategy that they went with Carlos was a horrible one. It was a losing battle. As a car that has the pace to take P2 in the race, they should have given him a much more competitive strategy than a strategy that relies on a safety car. I agree that Carlos' pace in the race wasn't the best. I have a feeling that it was probably because he knew that in order to make the strategy work, he would have to save the tires a lot more than what is usually required. They could have finished P2 in the Constructors if Carlos had finished in the race P8, which would have had Ferrari and Mercedes be level on points, but would have given Ferrari P2 in the Constructors on count back. Another one would be if the team had implemented Leclerc's strategy themselves sooner. That would have helped eke out a 5-second gap between Perez and Russell for the team to secure P2 in the Constructors. As the gap was only a second between Checo and Russell in the end, that helped George secure P2 for Mercedes by finishing P3 in the race. So on the whole, I feel like the team threw away what could have been a definite P2 in the Constructors at the end. This performance genuinely feels like had undone all the hard work that the team and the drivers had done consistently at the second half of the season to catch up to Mercedes to retake P2 in the Constructors. Checo's unfair penalty. Checo had a brilliant race today. He was flying through the field and was set clean to finish at least at the last step of the podium. But the penalty for causing a collision with Lando, when he put up a move to overtake Lando at turn 6, he slightly ran wide, hitting Norris. But the thing is, it was completely out of his control. Checo was almost levelly alongside Lando as they approached the corner, and he had the inside line. He also went full lock with the steering. That shows that all his intention was to make that corner. Also, he didn't finish the move because of that incident. Lando cut the chicane and held the position. It took Checo the next lap to make that move stick. So there was no real advantage that Checo gained with that move. So I can't see this incident being anything more than a racing incident. A 5-second penalty for that seems very harsh and unfair. He deserved to finish on the podium today. It's a shame that despite looking so good in the race to finish on the podium, he lost it because of an unfair penalty. Alonso's miraculous P4 in the championship. The Astons didn't look particularly quick this weekend, but because his closest contender Sainz was out of contention for P4 with the horrible strategy that he was given with, it gave Fernando all the room and confidence to push the car to get the best result. In the end, though finishing P7 in the race might not look like a great result, it helped him secure P4 in the Drivers' Championship. For real, how he managed to do it is still beyond me. McLaren holds on to P4. With both the drivers finishing P5 and P6 ahead of the Astons, the team managed to hold on to P4 in the Constructors' Championship. Honestly, a great feat. This proves why you should never give up in Formula 1 or in life in general. With how bad they were at the first half of the season, the fact that they finished P4 in the Constructors and one of their drivers managed to get in the battle to finish P4 in the Drivers' Championship as well, and had the third most podium finishes as a team this season after Red Bull and Ferrari is by no means a feat that should be underappreciated. The biggest win from all of this is that McLaren seems to have the best understanding of their car's concept after Red Bull on the grid, which is only going to make them build a better and a faster car for next year and for the years to come under these regulations as well. Williams holds on to P7 in the Constructors. Williams holds on to P7 in the Constructors, which is their highest finish in a season since 2017. Despite not being in the place or pace to score points this weekend, the team manages to hold on to P7. This already shows the sign of having the right driver to maximize on the result and the perfect team principle to bring the team together and lead them in the right path. Making the right decisions at the right time, his decision to rush the upgrades to Canada helped the team to score a handful of points on the race during the midway point of the season. It shows that the team is under the proper guidance. Even Logan Sargent has improved vastly as the season evolved, and though he still has a lot of places where he could improve, he's definitely a much better driver now than what he was at the start of the season. Even this weekend, though his qualifying was bad, he pulled things together in the race and finished P16, 2 places behind his much more experienced teammate. So I can see a bright future for the Williams team. They could become the next Aston Martin, and with the right investments and developments, with this team principle and driver pairing, this team could become what it once used to be back in the 90s and the early 2000s. So my overall race review would be, the race was good. The DRS train proved to be hard to overtake despite the long straights and the low speed corners. The track is extremely hard to overtake. More than overtakes, we saw a lot of failed overtakes from the drivers, especially at turn 9. In the end, it was a good final race of the season, with my only gripe being with Checo's penalty. I would rate this race a solid 7 out of 10, not the best race, but it still was a decent one. Though the season was dominated by Red Bull and Max Verstappen, there were still a lot of great and best moments in the season that made the 2023 season feel special and great. I find 2023 to be a better season than 2022, and I'll explain why in a separate video that I'm planning on making, so stay tuned for that. It will be hard not to have a Grand Prix. I will definitely miss it. Especially after a week, I will start to yearn to see F1 cars go racing again. So I've decided to revisit some of the old season to quench my thirst for a F1 race till the next season kickstarts. It's a bit sad for me as this would be the last race review video until the next season starter at Bahrain. Don't worry, I will continue to upload F1 content on this channel, as I've planned a lot of content to make on F1 during the winter break to keep you guys entertained till the next season kickstarts. I'm in a lot of ways proud of myself personally for pulling through with my commitment to making race reviews. Though I've missed on a couple of races, I've still remained fairly consistent in uploading race reviews for the majority of the races in the season. The style in which I make these videos have definitely evolved, but I've mostly stayed true to my commitment, so I'm proud of that. Next year it will further be fixed, so don't you worry. But that being said, I would like to wrap up this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and let me know down in the comments on what you guys would like to see in terms of Formula 1 content from here on. Also, let me know in the comments on what you thought of the race and what you predict the 2024 season has in store for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. It's me, your boy Oraban Caste, aka Vinesh, and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.